Hey everyone, are you an entrepreneur and are you wondering why isn't my website ranking higher on Google? Well, if you are, then this is an episode for you. Welcome to The Advisor. I am Lisa Urbanski, co-host of the show. I want to send a quick thank you to Dr. Bradley Nelson and iHeartRadio and to our audience and fans. If you like what you hear today, please do not forget to like and subscribe before you leave. So, joining me today are two powerhouse guests, TJ Robertson, founder of TJ Digital, and Holly Kissinger, co-founder of the Boarderline. So, TJ brings over 15 years of digital marketing expertise and a mission to make SEO really transparent, ethical, and AI powered, helping small businesses finally see where their marketing dollars go and how to rise through the Google maze that everyone is having trouble navigating. And Holly's story is just as inspiring. After 11 years running Mayday Agency, she and her team realized startups needed strategic advice without agency level retainers. So they created the Borderline, giving entrepreneurs access to an entire board of advisors who've actually built what you are trying to build. So, together today, we're going to be diving into what's really holding your website back, how AI and strategy are rewriting the rules of online visibility, and how to take your business from hidden to highly ranked. It's really good to meet both of you. How are you doing today?
Good.
Doing great. Thanks for having us, Lisa.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you so much for being here. Maybe we'll start with Holly. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah,
I mean,
hi.
I just introduced you, but
Yeah.
in your own words.
Holly. I've been in the marketing world for about 10 years. Mainly started also with Mayday. We're a digital marketing agency. And then my before this, I was just head of production, so producer, so producing commercials, content for brands, photo shoots. That's how I started out. And then I started working with Mayday. And then we had realized we're like, wow, we're hiring all these production companies and working with all these other people. And I was like, well, I already know how to do all of this. So why don't we just create our own production company, which is another part of Mayday. There's a few parts of it. So it's on the fly productions. And that is what I am the head of for Mayday. Yeah. So and then but it all kind of goes together with the marketing and the production. So it's yeah, that's what I've been doing for the past 10 years.
Nice, nice. And TJ, do you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Yeah, I've been doing SEO for 15 years. Before starting the agency you mentioned, Digital, I was running strategy at another agency. Um, but ever since ChatGPT came out, I've been obsessed with AI, how it can change how we do digital marketing, how it's changing how people find information. And so I really quickly felt like we needed to completely redo all of our systems from the digital marketing point of view. And the founder of that agency didn't see eye to eye with that. So it was kind of frustrating trying to move fast and not having that support. And that's really what led me to starting TJ Digital and kind of reinventing how we do digital marketing. And it's just taken off, been really exciting since then.
Oh, I
And I have
love that.
one other thing to say too is so how TJ and I are connected. So he is one of our experts on Borderline. So that's why we're all here today, just to connect the dots on that.
Yes, one of the advisors, one of your advisors. I love it. I love it. So I have a question for TJ. So regarding this Google map, this maze that I was talking about in the intro. So why do some websites seem to really soar on Google and why are some barely showing up? Like, what's the secret sauce? You got to tell everybody.
Yeah, yeah. I guess the secret sauce is that there is no secret sauce, right? It's
Yes,
a lot of
I
different
love it.
factors.
I'm not crazy.
Yeah, yeah, it's not. And that's, I think a lot of people are looking for like that one thing. What's that one change I can make or that one thing I can focus on to really shoot up? But one thing that'll most SEOs will tell you, Google will tell you, is that you have to do everything well. You don't have to do everything perfectly, but it's better to get like a B on every factor than it is to get an A plus on any one factor if you're failing the rest. Like you really have
Like,
to
what
check
are
all
what
the
are types of
boxes.
things you need to get B's and A's on? What types of
Yeah.
things are you talking about?
So many things. And that's the other thing to point out before we get into it is just that it really is a black box. Like no one knows the exact algorithm for how you rank. What you develop as an SEO is an intuition. Even the people working inside of Google, they have an intuition for how it ranks, but it's all done by machine learning these days. No, there is no code that'll just say why a website ranks. What we know are the factors. We know what we can tune to get people to rank higher. And so, yeah, I would love to go through as many as we can. I think the easiest way to kind of categorize them, many ways you could, but I would put it into three categories of different factors. One is relevance. How relevant is the web page you're trying to rank for the term you're trying to rank for? And that points to
Mm,
two important things, which is if you're trying to rank in Google, it means you're trying to rank a specific page in Google for a specific term or set of terms. So if you're not relevant, then you're not even going to be considered, right? It has to be the content on there has to be relevant. Two is authority. And Google has a lot of different ways of how they measure how authoritative you are. The smarter Google gets, the better they are at knowing if you're a real brand that people actually trust and respect. But there are still, of course, ways to trick Google and make you look more authoritative, and we can get into those. And the third one is quality. And this is the hardest one for Google to measure. Um, but we've learned a lot from the recent Department of Justice trial against Google. They were forced to release a lot of documents that they didn't want to release. And we've now learned how Google evaluates quality, or at least some of the ways that they evaluate quality. Um, so yeah, it's a long conversation, but maybe we could go through some of like the most important ones if someone is really struggling.
yeah, I love that. And so, just to be clear, by authority, you mean like how they show up on the web or how they show up in Google?
Yeah, so authority is historically has been primarily measured by backlinks. And so anyone not familiar with SEO, a backlink is just a link from another website linking to your website. This is what
Mm,
differentiated Google from the other search engines 20 years ago. And they're still important, although I think probably less important and probably dwindling. But it's the easiest way for a search engine to measure if you're legitimate. Are other companies that Google trusts linking to your website? And they kind of see that as a vote. The important thing to know there is that most backlinks are ignored. And it used to be very easy to trick this. SEO would just spam links all over websites that they could and rise up in the rankings. Of course, Google doesn't want those websites to rank. They want actually authoritative websites to rank. And so they've gotten better at figuring out when a link is a real endorsement of a website from another trusted website. That being said, most of us SEOs still buy backlinks. We still reach out to websites that are trusted and ask, hey, can we pay you to put a link to our client's website? And it still works. You have to be smart about it. Google will give you a penalty if you're reckless, but that is one way in which Google measures authority. But increasingly, Google's trying to get away from that. And so what most SEOs agree on now is that brand search is becoming more important. And by that, I mean, how many people are searching for your brand in Google? If you are getting a bunch of links to your website and you're creating a bunch of content, but no one's searching for you by name, that
right.
sends some weird signals to Google, right? Like, why, if you're so big and everyone's linking to you, why is no one searching for you? And so there's a couple of things you can do. There's tricky ways to do this, and there's legitimate ways to do this. But you want something, which is usually something outside of your SEO strategy, that's getting people to search for your brand by name. So one of the tricky ways to do this is to put up a job posting on Indeed. And people will do this. They'll put fake job listings out there because if you go
Oh,
to
interesting.
Indeed,
Okay.
yeah, if you're looking for a job and you see a company posting one, first thing most people do if they're interested, go
They
Google
click
that
on it.
brand,
Yeah.
learn more about the
Or they
company.
Google it. You're right. They look for it to
Yeah,
see
yeah.
more about it. Okay.
And Google can't tell that person's looking for a job because they're just going to type in the company name. And so that is a tricky way to
My
do it.
God,
I don't
people
rec-
need really interesting company names.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, spark some curiosity there. Although, on a little side note on company names, having the term you're trying to rank for in the name of your company, by far the number one way to rank in Google. Maybe it's too late for you if you're already an established company, although you still might want to consider changing the name you go by, filing a DBA, because if the term you're trying to rank for is in that name, if you're a window tinting shop and your name is you know, Auto Shield window tinting, you'll immediately rank higher than you would if your name was Auto Shield Pro when people are searching for
Okay.
window
So
tinting.
if you're saying like direct and really simple is the way.
It's well, that's like its own little that's a little tangent there, but it's Google really can't tell if someone's searching for the brand or for the term in that
Right.
case. And every time you're mentioned online, you're going to be mentioned with the term in your name. And every time someone links to your website from that name, you're getting a link from that keyword. And those are all signals to tell Google this brand is really relevant for window tinting. And so that there aren't many hacks left in SEO, but that is one of them. Um, but that's a little tangent. In terms of brand search, which is what we were talking about, fake job listings work. I don't recommend people doing stuff like that. We don't do that for our clients. I think the main thing that we do recommend is just creating content online, being active on social. Video content performs the best. But you just really the key to ranking in Google right now, I think, the activity that makes the most sense and will continue to as we move towards a future where everyone is getting answers from large language models, is being as noisy as possible. Just
Mm.
make a lot of content, distribute it everywhere, show up in everyone's feeds, get people talking about you, get people searching for you. You don't have to trick anyone. You don't have to worry about getting a penalty. And not only is that the best strategy for your ranking, but you're also just creating content. You'll get leads, you'll get customers from these other platforms as well.
This is also
Right. Yeah.
creating for like TikTok, like all social media platforms, LinkedIn, everything. Is that what you mean by just putting content everywhere?
Yeah,
Or
I recommend most companies don't want to create videos, but that's like I think once you get over your fear of just getting on camera and talking about whatever you're an expert on, it's the easiest way to make content. And every video you post can be reposted to about 8 different platforms. You know, you can post it to Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, X, LinkedIn. I'm forgetting a few. But then also you have a transcript now of your thoughts, insights as an expert in your industry, and that can become a blog post, a LinkedIn article, a Medium post, a Reddit post, uh, an X thread. And so if you create the workflow right, you're doing the work once, and now you have maybe 12 pieces of content that can't, most of those can rank in Google. They're getting people to search for your brand by name, and you're reaching people on those platforms. So that's, I think, if there's one thing you're going to get from this, one thing I recommend, it's creating video content and finding a way to repurpose it.
Yeah. So I was just gonna say, Holly, this is why TJ is the expert with you guys on your advisory board. But do you have anything to add to what TJ was saying?
yeah, I know that he had also mentioned earlier too, because now with like all the LLMs like ChatGPT, Claude, and all the other, I don't even know how many there are now. I feel like there's like a new one popping up. Um, that now instead of people going into Google, they're typing it into ChatGPT. So it's
Yes.
like, okay, now, and I do the same thing, but it's also like,
Yeah.
how can you tell us how that's working now? Like, is it better to get in on that now since it's so new? Is it easier for you to get ranked? Or what's the difference between ranking on Google and ranking on ChatGPT or Claude or any LLM?
Yeah, it's a great question. It does feel like the early days of Google in ChatGPT right now. It's the Wild West. The algorithm's much less sophisticated, so there are all these little tricks and things that shouldn't work well that do work well. I don't think that'll last. I think that phase is going to be much shorter than it was for Google. But I'll talk about some of those tricks and I'll talk about like long term. But I think first it's important to understand how they work and what it means to rank in a large language model. If you talk to SEOs right now, they'll usually say one of two things. They'll say nothing has changed, Ranking in a large language model is the exact same as ranking in Google, and they have a point, but they're wrong. And then another set will say it's completely different. This is a whole new industry. There's no overlap, and they're probably trying to sell you something. They're definitely wrong. The reason that that first group says it's the same thing, when you go to ChatGPT, when you go to Google's AI mode, and you ask for some kind of recommendation, you're interested in hiring a business. The first thing that large language model is going to do is perform a search in a traditional search engine. Now, what search engine depends on the model and it's constantly changing. But the point is, it's going to take your prompt, break it down into a series of searches. This is called query fan out. It'll come up with up to 12 different searches to do on your behalf. It'll run that through some search engine. And then it's going to look through up to 100 pages of content. And so that's why a lot of SEOs say it's the exact same thing. You just have to rank in the search engine and then ChatGPT will find you. The difference is this is way different than how a human uses a search engine. When you're looking for a company with a search engine, you do 1 to 3 searches, and you're probably only looking at the first 3 or so results, maybe 5 results. And you're not going to look at more than a couple websites. If it's really important, maybe you'll look at 5 or 10 websites. So traditionally, the way to get recommended from traditional search engines was to rank at the very top for those super competitive terms.
Mm-hmm.
What's changed now is that you don't have to rank at the top. You're not going to be ranking for competitive terms because you're going to get ChatGPT is looking for these very specific terms that maybe no one's ever searched for before. And you could be ranking on page 2, or another website could be ranking on page 2, but it talks about you. Because it doesn't actually matter if the large language model finds your website. What it's going to do is it's going to read every page and it's going to recommend whatever company was found most often throughout those pages, even if they weren't ranked at the top. If your competitor was recommended on 3 of those 100 pages and you were recommended 12 times on those 100 pages, the response that comes back is going to put you at the top. And if you ask it why, it actually won't be able to tell you at all. But that's the input is how many times. And so that doesn't matter if you were recommended on Reddit, on LinkedIn, on your own site, on some industry blog. It's just how many times were you recommended. And so, yes, you want to write your own content, you want to get ranked there, but it doesn't have to rank at the top. And you also now suddenly care about Reddit, and you care about all these listicles on LinkedIn, and you care about press releases and all these things that didn't used to matter because they never ranked on page 1 of Google for anything competitive. They're suddenly making a huge difference in the recommendations that these large language models make.
So I'm curious if someone wants to do like a quick self-check on SEO, what should they be looking for?
It's hard to do a quick check.
Okay.
If they want to,
Because in my brain doesn't like I'm like, oh my God, there's so many things. I know there's tools that you can use to, like you said, to post, create one video, you put it into one program and it releases to all those different programs. Like I use that all the time and it's beautiful and it even changes the write-ups. But it can be so confusing because it's like, and then it like I'm getting messages, you should be sending out different things every day, but make sure you're consistent, but make sure it's different, not too long, but a little bit long. And then don't add too much video, but today you should do a longer video. And I'm like, oh my God, like, it's so confusing.
Yeah, it is a lot. I think let me talk about the tool I would recommend to just check how you're doing, and then I'll talk about content creation strategy. The tool I would recommend is Google Search Console. Completely free tool from Google. Just Google it, Google Search Console. It'll walk you through how to set it up.
Hashtag
That'll
Google.
show you.
It's a game. How many times did we say Google on this episode?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's yeah, and I think they're going to be the leader even as ChatGPT comes in. I think Google has so much distribution that they're in a good position.
I still say Google it. I still say Google it all the time. Comes to mind. It's like Google it, figure it out, Google it.
Yeah, and Google's adapting. rolling out with AI mode, which is essentially just the ChatGPT interface inside Google. So they'll be just fine. But yeah, Google Search Console, data straight from Google. It shows you exactly what people typed into Google search. It shows you where do you rank for those terms. It shows you which page they clicked on. There's no better data in terms of assessing how well you're doing. Rank trackers, I had to go on a rant about why they're unreliable. Google Search Console is the only source that actually shows you who's coming to your website and from what terms they're coming from. When you're creating content, I think it's very hard to follow one. I wouldn't recommend following templated guidelines to say post this often, post on this on Tuesday and this on Wednesday. The truth is it varies wildly by your industry, by your audience, by your personality, by what kind of videos are easy for you to make. I think what's important is that you get into some kind of rhythm that you enjoy. If you don't enjoy it, there's no way you're going to keep up with it. It's easy for you, that's fun. And then you're just trying things and you're learning what works, because the truth is that different things are going to work for different creators. And so naturally, there's going to be one or two platforms where your videos just do better than other platforms, where your content just does better. Focus there. And most of the time, you're going to get 10 times the traction there as you do anywhere else. I think still post it everywhere because you went through the work to make it, and large language models will find it even if no one else finds it. But the algorithms are so good these days at training you. You'll be posting, and then one will get 10 times the views as all the other ones. Analyze that. What did I do better there, and do more of that? I mean, I can't go into the
Sometimes it's
whole.
hard to even tell though, because I know there's been instances where I put a video out and it's like blown up, and then I do a similar one and it like gets 10% of what that one did. And I'm like, God, can you
Yeah.
please tell me? Like, was it the day? Was it like the time? And then I just find myself going down this rabbit hole of pulling apart all the pieces. What time did I post that? What was I wearing? Was there colors? What was in the background? How long was it? The
Mhm.
attention span, you guys, like the attention span of humans these days, especially young humans, is literally like 22 seconds. Like that's max that people watch the videos. It's like 22 seconds, I swear. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
22 seconds is a pretty good watch time for short form content. Yeah, I think, I mean, there are so many factors, and I wouldn't focus on any of them except for the hook until you've nailed that. Because for short form content
Ooh, what's
especially,
the hook for the listeners out there that might not know what the hook is?
yeah, so the hook's gonna be the first 3 to 5 seconds of the video. Because as you know, as anyone who uses TikTok or any of these platforms know, you watch TikTok and YouTube by just constantly scrolling, right? Every few seconds you're scrolling up. It's because there's a million other videos you could be watching. You don't want to waste more than 1 second watching something that's worse
True.
than the next thing.
Like
And
being on a dating
so,
app, you're just swiping.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah,
exactly.
everything. Yeah, we can't be bothered. And so you have to respect the viewer's time. If you're a content creator, you have maybe 3 seconds to convince the viewer that this video is for them. And if they swipe away, they're going to miss out on something they wish they had seen. So you have to promise something is coming. And it doesn't have to be explicit. It could, say something provocative at the beginning, say something that lets them know that, okay, man, they're about to tell me something. They're about to show me something. And then don't give that away until the end of the video. Or if you do give it away, you have to tease that another thing's coming before you give it away. There always has to be what's called a curiosity gap. This gap between what the person wants to know and what you've already given them. And so when creators that get really good at this are constantly opening up multiple curiosity gaps. So you have a few hooks that are keeping you. But typically, if a video falls flat, just look at the first 3 seconds. Something went wrong there. Once you feel like you've nailed that, then you can start getting more picky about throughout the video. Was there ever a lull? Was there a time where I had addressed the curiosity gap and I didn't open a new one, or I was repeating myself, or I was boring? The worst thing you can be online is boring.
Yeah.
But
I'm just laughing because my best video, I didn't speak at all. I'm like,
no, yeah, but I bet it had one of these elements, right? There was something that kept people hooked. There's for some reason, because that's all that matters for the algorithm is watch time, right? Like they're just trying to keep people on the platform. And so
yeah.
they want to show the videos that are going to keep people swiping, keep people engaged. And so, yeah, for whatever reason, it's hard to say without seeing the video, but there was some reason that people decided not to swipe away.
Right.
Yeah. And yeah, there's not one formula, which is like, it's why you really got to figure it out for yourself. But and it does take some time. But if you keep trying stuff, you keep experimenting, it is a quick trainer. You get feedback quickly.
Yeah. So you've built TJ Digital on AI powered like transparency. So what does that mean? Like what do you do with your clients? How do you work with your clients?
Yeah, so I'll take the transparency piece first. We just bring our clients into our task management system and into our group chat.
Mm,
So our clients work with us right inside of our team. I've been a part of agencies that keep their clients on the outside and they keep all their processes hidden behind this wall. And it is much more comfortable to work that way. There's a reason that most agencies do that. But I realize that most people who hire an agency don't know what their agency's doing. They
right.
know they're paying them every month and they hope it's working, but they don't really know what's going on back there. And to be honest, some of our clients don't want to know what we're doing. They still have access. They get a link, they can click it, they see everything. They're just inside of our workspace. And so that was the transparency piece. It's really important to me. And I just find we do better work when our clients are watching us. And that's what I wanted. I was tired of the agency talking crap about their clients, and I just wanted us to all feel like a team. But yeah, the AI powered side is really just taking advantage of the new tools we have now. And that doesn't mean we're putting things on autopilot. There's a lot of things that AI is terrible at. And so it's
Yeah.
it's recognizing what AI does better and what humans do better, and then creating workflows that capture the best of that.
What would
Yeah,
you
well,
say to the, oh, sorry, go ahead, Holly.
I was just going to say that we actually found TJ on TikTok through TikTok.
Nice. Oh my
Julie
God, I gotta check out his videos.
had reached out to it. I wonder what video that was that she had found you on. I don't know if you remember. But anyway, I think she
Yeah,
just,
maybe it was early. Yeah, that was in May, which is right when I started posting on
okay.
TikTok.
Yeah. So then she
Um,
reached out to him and then I asked him to be on the board. So that was cool.
yeah, it was
Wow,
really
that's
cool. It was right
such a
after I started my
testament of
agency.
powerful videos. That's
Yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Yeah. And Julie and Holly have been great. And I immediately after talking with Julie, I was obsessed with this idea of Borderline because it just makes a lot more sense to me than what most companies are doing. Just because a few hours of a specific person's time can be worth a lot, especially when you're starting a business and you're not sure. You just
Yeah.
need a little bit of guidance. You're still scrappy. You have a team. You can do stuff, but you want to make sure you're pointed in the right direction. And just being
Mhm.
able to get a few hours of time from someone who would normally charge you, high monthly retainers is it just like immediately I was like, yes, I want to be a part of this. Tell me what to do.
Yeah. That's exactly why we did it, why we started it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it
great. Yeah,
sounds
it's been exciting.
beautiful. It sounds magical. Like it's like exactly what every entrepreneur needs. It's like a board of people that can help guide them. There's nothing scarier than walking in blind and like making all the mistakes before you figure out the way. But I have a fun question for you, TJ. What would you say to all the people out there who just can't stand AI?
I say I get it. I get it.
Really?
I can't
Oh,
stand it
I wasn't
myself
expecting
sometimes.
that.
I No, like I think everything you hate about AI, I probably hate about it too. I also love a lot about AI, but I think they're like, yeah, when I see Mr. Rogers and Tupac having a conversation, I get hooked in for a
Real.
second.
I thought it,
Yeah, but
I wanted it to be real. But you don't know anymore. I really thought that was real. This is not good.
it's scary. It's scary how good it's getting. And it's like I mean part of me loves it. It's entertaining, it's fun. And like I
Yeah.
sometimes I can't stop watching it. Speaking of AI video specifically. But it's a problem, right? And it's doing real harm and it's going to cause real displacement. And so I don't think we should brush that aside. I think it's important that we're responsible and thoughtful about how we use AI. But on the other hand, it's really leveling the playing field between big enterprise corporations and
Yeah.
small businesses who are now able to just be scrappy. And if you just have a good idea and you are an expert in your field, you can now create content at a scale that only big corporations could create before. And when you're swiping through TikTok, it's not a bunch of big brands putting millions of dollars behind their videos. It's real people. And so I think that part's really exciting. There's just so much more opportunity. I think it's the best time in the history of the world to be a small business owner or an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
agreed.
also too, just because I feel like a lot of, I mean, I know so many people right now who are just out of work. I mean, from all over. It could be CEOs to actors to just, you know, any like I have a friend of mine who works in IT. He just got laid off and he was working for like an oil refinery. Just like everywhere. So I think it's like, and even them going to on job interviews right now, it's like impossible to get a job. So like I really think the only way to make money now is to start your own business. And then there's no cap on how much money you're making. And I think that's just where it is. And we have the internet and we have all of these different platforms to create. And I think that's the future.
Yeah, it seems to be. It's getting so competitive, like so competitive, because we all have access to these tools. That's why, in my opinion, it's so good to get this early understanding of AI and how to use these tools in a smart way so that we can leverage ourselves now because like it's insane. I left a relationship and I was like, oh, I feel like getting in the dating world and I got like so catfished by AI at one point and I'm like, oh
Mm.
my God, like what's happening to this world, right? Like it's crazy out there. But like I love how the small players have a chance because there's so much talent in this world. No, there's so much talent that nobody recognizes, and it happens just like with you guys found TJ, like that's how it's happening. It's so cool. Like people are just discovering other people from the content that they're putting out there by the connection they feel with their energy through the screen. It's actually kind of wild.
You know,
Yeah.
because
And I
yeah, I mean back, like back in the day, it was like when you would get casted for like a movie or like there was only a handful of people that were famous and that was it. Like, and then
Yeah.
now it's like, I don't even know who half these people are anymore. They're like, oh, this person, this influencer, and this. And I'm like, I don't even know who this is. It's like there's so many people now that have just created this whole life for themselves just from, TikTok or Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, I think the cool thing about putting yourself out there and having content that's authentic to you and represents, what you do. When people contact me on TikTok, they feel like they already know me. Like it's usually the first thing they're saying is like, I can't believe I'm really talking to you right now. Um, and they already trust me. They feel like
Yeah.
they've got I make content while I'm walking my neighborhood and they feel like they've gone on 100 walks with me because they've watched 100 of my TikToks. And I think
Mhm.
it is I don't want to say it's natural. It's anything but natural, but it does allow for very natural relationships to form very quickly. Just being able to learn so much about people before you make that decision to reach out and potentially work with them. And I think all of that's going to be synthesized inside of something like ChatGPT, something like a large language model, where instead of people going around from platform to platform and doing all their own research, ChatGPT or Google's AI mode is going to be so good at that you'll just trust it to do that for you. And it'll know you so well. You could just be like, hey, my business. You know that I need a role, a person for this role. Help me find someone like that. And then ChatGPT will be the one going out watching all the TikToks and reading all the LinkedIn posts and being able to find someone that's a good fit or a business that's a good fit, which is just another reason why I think it's so important to be putting content out there.
Yeah. Foundation, getting the foundation set up for the future. So where can people find out more information about what you guys do and where can they contact you? Tell us.
Yeah, so just our website, it's theborderline.co. We can link it to this podcast at the end. And they can just click on it. And then I can actually send a direct link to TJ's profile as well. And they can just book him directly from the platform.
Yeah, we'll make sure his TikTok's in there too. I want to check
Yeah.
out your TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok's really good.
Yeah. Yeah. Just search TJ Robertson. I'll come up.
Mhm.
Okay, beautiful. Do you guys have any last minute thoughts on the topic today?
I know a lot of people have thought about making content, have thought about recording videos, and they just don't feel like they're ready yet. And my advice is just to record a video right now, like as soon as this episode ends, and you don't have to post it anywhere. Just pull out your camera, don't overthink it, talk for 2 minutes, and then you've gotten over the hump. You made a video, post it or don't, but just don't worry about making something bad. The good thing about these algorithms is if the video sucks, no one's going to see it anyways.
That's good. Yeah, that's been one thing I've had to get over is like I've been behind the scenes for so long where I'm like hiring people that are on camera or actors. And then it's like, oh, you have to be on camera. And I'm like, ugh. Like I could talk to anyone at any time. Like if out, I can have a full conversation. I'm completely comfortable. But if someone puts a light and like a camera in my face, I'm just like, oh my God. So
Well, you need to
Everyone
make a
is
video after this.
I will, but
What TJ
I
just challenged you.
Holly's been doing good.
these podcasts have been helping me though. Like this has been good for me. So
Yeah.
yes.
The funny thing is everyone knows how to make videos and everyone's actually pretty good at it because everyone spends all day on video calls and FaceTime and like
Yeah.
it's just it's just getting yourself in that mindset that takes a little bit of practice. But just remember, you're already an expert at this. You're already a pro.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Amazing. Thank you guys so much for being here. Oh my gosh, we could talk about this topic forever. Thanks for coming out down and for sharing about SEO and what you guys do.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Okay.
Yes, and to our fans and our audience, we are going to have the links in the show notes for you guys to have easy access to Boarderline and TJ's TikTok, which I'm seriously going to race to after this episode ends. Um, Shoot your first video. Get off of this episode and just try it. It gets easier as you go. It's just like exercise. The more you do it, the easier it's going to get. Until next time, take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.